Question of the day: would you support a gap year between high school and college for your teen? I would like for you all to dialogue with me in the comments. This has been a growing topic over the past few years among parents, not just homeschool parents, but parents in general. And yeah, it's just surprising to see these statistics here, and listening to friends and family give their viewpoints on this, because a lot of people that I have spoken with feel that yes, these days, yes, this is something new, because back in our time we didn't do this. You graduated high school and you went to college. Now I know a lot of this has to do with the economy. Parents are finding that they feel that they are not financially able enough to support these students in college, which, with the point of not sounding negative, I don't really agree with that, because there are always opportunities and always ways. There are things that, you have to prepare for. You can try to prepare for. Of course, you can never fully prepare for anything, but it's a responsibility when you have children to do certain things. And this is part of financial planning. This is something that has to do with, just being a parent, being married in general. You have to have your finances in order, and they have to stay in order. And a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. You've set yourself up for financial ruin doing that, because of the society trying to keep up with, I need to have this, and I need to have this, and I need to go get this, and I need to go get that. No, you don't. You don't need that. You don't need it at all. If you can afford it, if you want to buy something and you have the money to where you won't miss it, okay, you can replace it immediately, then that's called you can afford it. Not I have to wait till I get paid and then replace the money. No. Okay? You don't spend your last and then don't have the means to replace it on something frivolous. So, and that's just, that's just my viewpoint. That's how I live. I don't incur debt. I don't. We don't do credit cards and things like that, because it just leads you in a bad way. Not to say that I've had that experience. I've always been good with, that type of thing. But I know the result. Oh my goodness. So, like I said, I'm not trying to, sound negative or anything. I am just curious to know your thoughts on this. Dialogue with me. If your child has taken a gap year, what has been the result? If you are planning a gap year for your child, what has been the result? Whose decision was it? Because I'm looking at 38% saying it's more his or her call, and that's more or less where I fall. My job is not to call that. My job is to get my child to a point where they can get to college. They can enter. They are accepted. Whether or not they go, that is their decision. So, that's what I want to know. What has been the result? If you have more than one, what has been the result? I know a lot of people say, maturity, the child's readiness and things like that. That plays a part in whether or not they're ready. You think they're ready enough, to enter college life. We all know that every child is not college material. Every person is not college material. They may be fine working, a 9-to-5 somewhere. They may be, have the ability to manage, or they may be entrepreneur. Everybody, it's not all about college, but what is the deciding factor? Let me get down to this, because the gist of it is Malia Obama is the story behind this is of course Malia Obama is going to Harvard, but she won't enter until 2017. So they had to do a little spotlight on this. So I know she's working now, so she is probably going to continue to work. And yeah. It says some parents worry that their children could veer off track academically and never recover. But higher education experts argue that the opposite appears to be true. Studies have shown not only do students go on to perform better than their non-gap year classmates, they also tend to end up in more satisfying careers. Although research notes that self-selection could play a part, as gap year students tend to be more affluent. So it says for some reason there's some concern around, does it contribute to academic atrophy? What we're finding is absolutely not. If anything, it connects the theory that they've been exposed to over the many years of education to the reality of what's going on in the real world. A growing number of colleges and universities, including all 8 institutions in the Ivy League system, have been signing on to ideas as a constructive choice for incoming freshmen. Harvard University, where Malia plans to start in the fall of 2017, has for decades been urging members of its incoming class to consider it. So, and it's, talking about students faced with the fast pace of growing up. Some are clearly distressed, engaging in binge drinking and other self-destructive behaviors. So, that's my thing. What are these children doing during that year? And the behaviors, that's a long time. That is a long time for them to be idle like that. And not to say that they will go to school and nothing will happen, because they are exposed to a lot of things, different things, new things, interesting things, and they're curious, a lot of them, because they've not been outside of the house, outside of the city, outside of the state. So, yeah, that's nothing new, but I think that's kind of where I'm standing. What's happening to the kids while they're, what are they doing in that time? Some children are become apprentice to, a parent already in a trade or, what have you. And, that's good for them. So maybe, you know, half a year, half, you know, gap year, may be good. Oh yeah, that's what this is saying. Maybe living at home or an internship where they spend the second half of the year traveling. You know, I've heard parents, oh, they're just not ready. They don't want to send them out of the state. Well, that's not really your call. Once they get, you know, of age, it's their call where they go. You know, whether you want to send them out of state or not. I think that it seems a little selfish to say, I don't want to put my money into, you know, such and such. And, yeah, no, I'm not going to get into that. Florida State University is the latest campus among the campuses to start offering scholarships to gap year students. So they said they can get up to $5,000. So something to consider. The students. Let's see, what did the students say? They say students don't regret taking a gap year. So, but again, there's no other side of it. You know, no students that have not taken a gap year and their take on it. So, dialogue with me in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this and your experience, your personal experience. Bye.